Hello, so welcome to this episode. Hopefully this is the last episode we have about sun and this about the skin. And the last time we spoke about the sun, we spoke about how to protect ourselves from the sun or screen ourselves from the sun. Today I'll be discussing the creams that we use for sunscreening. I already discussed in the last episode the lifestyle that can help you protect you from the sun, because we know that the different things that or harms that the sun can cause to the body. So let's start with the creams that we can use to protect ourselves from the sun. So there's a physical cream and there's a chemical cream. One of the example of the physical cream, which is said to be healthiest, will be the zinc oxide. Why people don't really use zinc oxide is very powerful sunscreen, but why people don't use it is because it's not really nice. Though there are newer. When I say it's not nice, like it doesn't look nice. It has this paste-like effect. It's almost like whitish, but with time there are companies that are making clear colored zinc oxide that is more elegant, looks nice, will be accepting of your makeup and does not crack your face, your makeup and all that. So yeah, zinc oxide is a very good sunscreen and is classified as the physical one. So the chemical one is what we use, or we all know as sunscreen. Whenever you go to maybe a dermatologist or go to the pharmacy, or even to the cosmetic people, say, oh, I want sunscreen. Sunscreen is everywhere. That's the chemical one. There's been a lot of controversy of how much the sunscreen is absorbed into our system, but I will leave it out because the research, every single thing I'm telling you is well researched. The research is not conclusive on the effects of the chemical sunscreen that we use on the human body, but just know that generally it's supposed to help us prevent us from having those harmful effects of the sun, which I already stated in the last video. Okay, so for the chemical sunscreen, let's focus on it now. I already talked about the physical sunscreen, which is the zinc oxide, and there are lots of them that are very good. Then the chemical sunscreen, which we quantify in SPFs. If you notice, when you buy a sunscreen, you will see SPF 15, SPF 30, SPF 50 plus. There's even 50 plus. Now I think 50 plus is the highest presently. I don't think anybody's allowed to use more than 50 because there's no research to confirm that we have UVB protection above SPF above 50 right now. So what I'm saying is that when you buy your sunscreen, be sure that you are buying from a reputable company, because sunscreen is an area of easy fraud. Somebody can just do anything and tag it SPF 50 plus. So if the company is not reputable, how do you trust that they are giving you the right thing? And the array of things that are supposed to protect you from the sun-induced skin cancer, phototoxicity, hyperpigmentation, photoaging. You see, so you need to use something that you're sure is gonna work. So if you see SPF 15, anything less than 15 is actually not necessarily protecting you from anything much. It's just protecting you from sunburn. And that's not even a big deal. Even I tell people that personally, because this is where we have a lot of disagreement. People's individual differences come into practice. Maybe myself as a pharmacist, I'll see things differently. A dermatologist who see things differently. Somebody who is into cosmetic surgery we see things differently. So everybody looking, maybe a cosmetic surgeon or someone in cosmetic might say, oh, my clients are worried about hyperpigmentation, so maybe their sunscreen will be focused on, protecting them from hyperpigmentation. But me, I'm more worried about skin cancer, phototoxicity, and stuff like that. So if a product is not going to cover me for skin cancer, is not covering me for phototoxicity, For me, I don't think I like it. So when you see SPF that is less than 15, I personally don't advise my customers to go for it. Go for something that is higher, from 30 upwards, because then you are sure that it's going to protect you not just from sunburn, but also from skin cancer. Can protect you also from photoaging, which is actually a big deal, you know. But remember that I told you that these things we use, these creams that we use, cannot be compared with avoidance of the sun, can also not be compared with using shades and other forms of other. I think I listed it in the last video. That should be the 4th video on this series. Okay, so but sunscreen, the creams, the physical sunscreen actually have its own place in protecting you from sun. So let's not downplay its use. It has to be used, and it has to be used correctly. So now I've talked about the SPF. The one that gives you the most value is from 30 upwards. So look out for that when you buy your sunscreen. Pick up the bottle, look at it, be sure that it's written there. Even if they're lying, at least let it be there. Not that the one you even see that is 15, you still buy it, especially for you that is living in Nigeria. And before I forget, people who live abroad actually feel that they are not exposed to phototoxicity. It's not true. As long as there's daylight, let me tell you, do you know there's a reflection with your eyes? The eyes, if you come, maybe a place like Canada now is very cold, there's snow everywhere. The white snow is reflecting, and you need sunscreen. You actually need to stay away. Just the same protocol for someone who is in sub-Saharan Africa, because you don't know the reflect. If you did physics, you understand what I mean by reflection. The reflection actually is high with snow. So don't say, oh, I'm in a cold region, I don't really need sunscreen. But that's not true. You need sunscreen. You need sunscreen because though, okay, let's go on with the SPF. You understood the SPF, the one you're supposed to choose, from 30 and above. When you pick this SPF, sorry, that made me to almost lose my train of thought. So when you pick this SPF, let's say you bought SPF 50 plus, you need to use it correctly to be able to get the value for it. Because this product, if you look at the summary of products characteristic of this product, the manufacturers or people who do research and development have said these are the ways you can use it to ensure your protection. So when people use sunscreen on their faces, I'm wondering, what is your aim? And the quantity you use also matters. So there's something called milligram by cm square. That's the pharmaceutical method of calculating the quantity you use. But I'll break down the dose so that if, just like you take your drug, just like I think I discussed this in the first episode, just like you take your tablet, just like you take your paracetamol or anything, there's a dose. You can't use underdose and expect the thing to work. Once it's underdose, it's not going to work. So let's talk about quickly, because the video is getting too long. The milligram cm square has to do with the quantity you will use at a time. So if I'm going out, I already talked about the things you need to do, like to protect yourself first before we talk about the sunscreen. Like the basic thing, where if you're going to the sun, wear long sleeve clothing that is loose, you know, and is dark if possible. That will give you a protection. Then the other part of your body that is exposed, then go ahead to, you know, use sunscreen on them. Like my fingers, I have to use sunscreen. I have to use sunscreen on my face. Any other part of my body exposed. If I'm on the beach under the sun and maybe my chest and my back is exposed, you have to use sunscreen. So what quantity do you use? You have to use at least 5 ml of the cream, which is 1 teaspoon. If you have a baby in the house, maybe you can use the measuring spoon for their medication to measure it so that you can have an idea what 5 ml is. 5 ml of cream covers your face, your ear, and your neck. Another 5 ml of cream will cover your hands, right? So if you are going to the beach and you're exposing maybe your chest also, you will need 5 ml on your chest, the front part, and you need 5 ml at the back. For your leg, for instance, if you're going to cover for your hips, maybe you want to wear a bomb shot, you want to cover for your hips all the way to your toes, one leg is 10 mils. So if you're not using it this way, you're not using it correctly, and you shouldn't expect to have protection, or you're not expected to have the utmost or ultimate protection from this thing, right? So avoidance, as I said earlier, is always the best. When you use it at least 15 to 30 minutes before you step out. You can't use sunscreen now and step out immediately. No. You have to use it, and you give a period of at least 15 minutes to 30 minutes before you step out. And if you go into the swimming pool or you sweat vigorously, the sunscreen is off. You have to apply it all over again. Sunscreen, some people buy sunscreen 30 mil and they use it for a month. You're not sunscreening, baby. You're not using sunscreen. So unless you're just using it for the fun of it, if you want to get the full benefit, to screen you from the sun. Remember, that's the main aim, to screen you from the sun, from the major effects: skin cancer, hyperpigmentation, photoaging, sunburn, phototoxicity. Okay, so these are the way to use it. I will write this out on the comment section so that in case maybe you're a bit confused on what I said, it will be clearer to you. In the next video, I will talk about things that actually even make it worse. You know, even maybe medication that make phototoxicity, photoaging worse for you and the sun as well. Okay, all right, thank you.